Oh, hello, and welcome to Dente Rigamortis. I'm Review Cultist.
And I'm Dr. Leviathan.
And we're here to discuss those internet stories most creepy and most pasta. Tonight we have This is the Real Reason Konami Stopped Making PT, and I Was Born a Week Ago. So, we're going to do This is the Real Reason Konami Stopped Making PT first, and then we'll do the other one after.
Okay.
So,
but wasn't it a Silent Hill game?
Yeah, it was originally meant to be a Silent Hill game.
So, why is it PT?
Actually,
PT was the title of the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, they didn't stop making PT.
They stopped making Silent Hills.
They stopped making Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Or,
Hills. Yeah. It was... I think that was the working title, because it was like, there are more than one. I don't know.
Yeah, I never really gave that much of a shit, I'm not going to lie to you.
I was curious, but then they canceled it, because especially since it had so many heavy names on it. But yeah,
that's not what we're here.
No, we're here for for why they canceled and removed the PT teaser or interactive trailer off of their store and stuff.
No, this is why they stopped
just
Silent
completely.
Hill. Yeah. This has nothing to do with why they removed the teaser.
It tries to throw that in, shoehorn that
because in. They removed that because they canceled the game it was a trailer for.
Yeah. Well, that's that's the actual thing. But this, if you read this one, it says
yeah, which is probably my biggest problem with this.
Yeah.
Is that
it tries to connect a bunch of
no. Yeah. It goes on the premise that PT was the game, not the trailer for a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. PT wasn't the game, and I'm sure there's someone out there who has more information on this than me, but at least that's my understanding of it, and, I played the fucking trailer.
Yeah.
So, if that's all of the if I get misinformation because I played the fucking trailer, then the trailer fucking sucked at doing its job. Personal opinion.
Did you actually like playing that game, though? Or not the game, but the trailer thing?
It was tedious, but whatever.
Fair enough.
It was genuinely, it had fucking atmosphere up the ass, and it was genuinely fucking creepy, and if they had have kept that same atmosphere into the game it was an ad for, then I wouldn't have wanted to play it, because I don't really give a rat's ass about survival horror games, but I would have recommended it to virtually any of my survival horror playing friends, because, that atmosphere was just super saturated in the teaser. But anywho, let's get back to this.
The real reason why,
which is also just there's so much fucking wrong with this, just on a logical fucking plane. But hey.
So it's told as a series of letters to players of the interactive trailer, as a online.
That's not what I got.
That's kind of what I got off of it. It was either an email or forwarded, or the guy was posting it as a blog kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm not.
Maybe that's not the
more
case.
as an article to me.
Okay, maybe the article thing more. But it's for somebody else to read, kind of
Yeah.
I know that sounded really vague, but that's what it seemed like to me. It seems like it's he's writing this up as an update for somebody else to read online.
Well, he's blowing the whistle on the real reason. So yes, it's an article written for people to read.
Okay, so it's not as an editorial. It's a format.
It's not a story. It's an article.
Yeah.
But it's fake as fuck.
Yeah.
Obviously. It's a story.
And it falls after, we just mentioned, PT, the Hills, or Silent Hills trailer that got canceled. And the writer is...
Game that got canceled, trailer was removed.
Sorry. Yes.
You keep saying it just a little bit wrong, like this guy.
Yeah.
And that's...
Well, the other thing is, somebody actually, another company has actually taken, the idea of PT and actually made a game out of that.
That's fine. Yeah. That has nothing to do with this.
No, you're right. So, the writer is like a lead programmer on the that was on the project, apparently, and he wanted to make the most terrifying game experience ever.
Well, they told him to.
Yeah, they told him basically. To, and so that's what his like opus was to do. I'm sure I'm fucked up that word, whatever. And so they go forward with like using augmented reality
with Google glasses.
With Google glasses,
they make fun I'm going to fucking buy Google glasses just to play. And again, this whole thing seems to have nothing to do with the game that the trailer was for.
No, it's just about
for the fucking trailer. This is my problem.
It's just the trailer.
Because augmented reality, would have been really fucking, like, don't get me wrong, it would have been fucking badass in that if the trailer was basically the game.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, like, that's all we know about Silent Hills was PT. So that's where this guy's probably coming from.
Unless you see the trailer that you unlock by completing PT.
Which is just, like, the guy walking down the street.
And it looks like it looks like it's going to have virtually nothing to do with PT.
Yeah. I understand. I just,
This is why I don't understand why everyone thinks that they're one and the same.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, I never, like, actually played the game. I watched it, like, Let's Plays of it and stuff. So, like, I'm coming from it as, like, a lame... I don't even have a PS4.
Sorry. Yeah, but you understand what I'm saying. Like, it's just not...
It does seem like the guy didn't do enough research on...
It's like the guy didn't think a bit at all. Just at all about, like, he's like, oh, PT is the fucking Silent Hills game, cool. Well, no, it probably isn't, because if I'm going to play that for even 10 hours, or even, like, let's say it's a shittily short game.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, a good game, but, like, just horrendously short, and clocks in at, like, 4 or 6 hours.
Yeah.
I do not want to walk around that house for fucking 6 hours.
No, like, I would hope there'd be, like, a change or something, but
Exactly.
Because, like, I remember people, like, I'm sure people have actually played that game.
I got sick of playing through PT.
Yeah.
So, that's my personal thing.
Well, yeah.
But anywho, augmented reality, it would have been cool in that, or if that had been, like, if that was the whole thing. But in a typical survival horror video game, it wouldn't be anything. It would be tedious.
Yeah.
Stupid. Absolutely fucking retarded. And then using it as an app, doing it as an app for a piece of technology that I know no one with.
Yeah. Which I think barely, as it exists right now, I don't think it's, like, mass-produced yet. Like, it's just coming out.
No, because if it was, you know who I know who would have one.
Yes. Yeah. That will remain a mystery for the audience.
I have... There are some people I know who would just maybe not be all over Google Glasses, but, man, they'd try it out.
Yeah. I also just, like, I don't understand, like, this guy just kind of hates on, or, like, seems to hate on or rag on, like, the Oculus Rift and, like, all the other, like, kind of interactive things for games. And I mean, like, the Xbox Kinect sucked. We're just going to admit that.
I can't admit it. I've never utilized it at all.
It wasn't very good.
Oh, I'm assuming it was, because...
It stopped being sent with the game, or with the console.
The console that couldn't function without it suddenly functions just fine without it.
Exactly. I don't know much about the PS4 one, though I've seen, like, Let's Plays, and I've seen you play your games on it, with it, so...
No, I don't have it.
Oh, you don't? Okay, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen Let's Plays of it where people have utilized it, so...
Yeah, I don't, like I say, I don't know about the Kinect, but the PlayStation camera functions just fine. It's just... Nothing really utilizes it.
Yeah.
And I think that's also a big problem with the Kinect. But whatever. Yeah, that's also speculation.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're using Google Glasses, and they're, like, using that RNA thing to, like, lace out... Essentially, so when you put on the glasses, it lays out, like, the area that you're looking at through the glasses somehow, and puts in, like, events, essentially, for the whole horror thing.
Which, I mean, like, that would be pretty cool if... Like, let's say I was playing a survival horror game.
Yeah.
And I was wearing these glasses, and in my peripheral vision, I can see a doorway. And a monster from the game pokes its head out of that doorway.
that's really effective.
That would be kind of fucking neat.
Like, that suddenly turns your house into a haunted house.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, if I was playing a survival horror game and there was an app for my phone, which would be a far more likely app to make, and it just, like, all of a sudden my phone makes noises.
Yeah.
And like creepy horror noises.
Yeah, and you have to, like, and you look around with the camera, and suddenly, like, the camera's lacing.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Not even that. I honestly, if it just made noises, I would probably be, okay with that, because it'd be fucking weird.
Yeah.
And it would be, I don't know, for some people it'd help the immersion, for some people it'd completely fucking ruin it, I'm sure. Yeah. But that's not what this is talking about. This is talking about not augmenting reality, altering reality.
Yeah, and that's what happened. Like, so, like, through, like, coding and Google Glasses magic, they start very successfully running encounters with Lisa, the monster from PT, or the girl from PT. Spoilers for a game that's for a trailer that is, like, removed from the games from the hardware. As it goes along, strange things start happening. Like, Lisa starts popping up without the technology, like, without Google Glass. Like, it's like, I can even feel her, like, behind me, like, breathing, but now I actually feel her breathing behind me. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, are they just, like, going full, like, crazy?
Well,
right off the get-go? Like...
I guess it's just a fucking ghost. I don't know.
Yeah. So she's still
a ghost that breathes,
but she's still bound by programming. So she can't. So she can change. She can change the way the workers, like, interact with the environment. But she can't change them, like, completely. Like, she can change the appearance of things, but she can't change how they taste.
She can make it look like the food that they're eating is rotten and horrible and
body parts,
like,
and shit.
Like
something out of Silent Hill.
Yeah, but pizza still tastes like pizza.
Mm-hmm. Water still tastes like water, not, the horrible whatever it is. He's like, I can't even describe what I'm drinking. But I think that's a little bit ahead of us. The company lead...
Who cares? Let's fast forward.
Yeah. The company lead, who tried the glasses, freaks out because he's getting it on his end, and he wants the company to move in a completely different direction, kind of mimicking real-world events with Konami, but they give it a supernatural explanation, kind of. Programmers
I just assumed that
it
was just made up, because
maybe
I expect that level of research from this.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't too sure how real that was, but anyway, the programmers get used to the freaky things since they aren't real, but the Lisa creature persists. They continue the code and try to fix the issues. They get isolated in the main programmer's home because they decided that's a good place to, like, just start setting up shop to work on this. Which begs the question, like, are they, like, have they been going home or driving home and, like, the PT stuff, like, just persisting around them while they're, like, driving? Because that would be, like, at that point, you shouldn't be driving. Because that's, like, car accident city right there.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, I don't know, maybe they're fucking taking public transit.
Maybe. Still, that would be... And they work through the horrors that are being presented to them before finding a way to make her stop. They remove programming, but then remove too much programming, giving Lisa freedom from restraint, essentially. So the main programmer speculates that she knew all along that this was going to happen and has been doing this for the character. Bear in mind, he's also kind of, like, over this whole course of this whole story, he's just been, like, kind of, like, degrading insanity. His mental state has just been dropping.
Yeah.
This whole thing. So he thinks that, like, she's doing this for him because, like, he wanted to make the most horrific, the most, like, horror experience ever, and she's giving him that. She did this to give him, yeah, exactly. And the story really just ends with the programmer completely gone, like, batshit insane, thinking that Lisa is his wife, and, like, they have a kid, and, like, all the other programmers apparently, like, he can't even see any of the other programmers, or they're just gone. Like, the world around him is completely altered because of Lisa, and he's just putting in this, like, last final, like, code to be added in an update, presumably to spread Lisa further into the world. At least that's what I got from it. I assume that's kind of what it is, because, like, it seemed like that was what they were trying to do. And then it ends off with him, like, oh, I'm just going to send this click, and then he goes. So that's the end of the story, is that Lisa was a ghost in the machine, apparently, or a programmed ghost that became real. I don't know. It did feel okay. I will say this one felt very much like the Princess Creepypasta, except worse. Whereas that one was actually kind of good because it was original. This one tries to take another license or like an actual product and give it a supernatural thing.
Yeah,
much like all the ones we've done before.
And just so much of the fucking ridiculous. No company would allow them to, make this app for Google Glasses.
Yeah.
That's not financially responsible because
again, the whole thing of
you want to hit.
Stuff like that.
You want to hit. Well, no, because there'd be a disclaimer. You actually put that in. There'd be a disclaimer not to use it while driving.
Okay,
but that it's just not okay. A lot of games have companion apps for your smartphone or your tablet. That's because a lot of people who have everyone who has a console pretty much has a smartphone or a tablet.
Yep.
They don't have Google Glasses.
No. It would have been a lot more grounded in reality.
They wouldn't have fucking allowed that.
Yeah.
I don't care. Because the bottom line is always going to be the almighty dollar for a company like that.
Yeah.
And that is just going to be we're alienating 90% of the fucking gamer culture, or 98, or some ridiculous percentage.
The majority of gaming.
A ridiculous majority of the gaming culture, and by doing that, you make them not want your shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been much, especially from Konami. I could have maybe seen it with Sony or Microsoft, but not really. But, from Konami...
Well, no, because they would have utilized their own technology.
Yeah. A semi, a company that has had a couple of, moments where they've almost gone from the face of, gaming. It just made no real sense.
No. And, I mean,
it just seemed like
that is so fucking early in the story, and it's so immersion breaking that you're just all right, well, you are completely just batshit crazy.
Yeah, and just the stuff that he's saying that Google Glasses can do. I don't know enough about Google Glasses to really confirm it, but I'm pretty sure they can't do a ton of the stuff that even the early part of the story was suggesting. But maybe I'm just not fluent enough in glasses. I know that's what people want it to do, but I don't think that's what it can do now.
Well, the whole fucking thing is just, I don't know, I found myself just questioning everything, everything in this story just
had holes to poke.
Well, I was just too hypercritical of it, and it all stems from, even my whole, Jesus Christ, PT is the trailer, not the game. Silent Hills is the game, or Silent Hill, whatever. When I was reading, I was Silent Hill.
Yeah, I mean,
now apparently it's Silent Hill.
It's the same franchise, but I read a little bit.
Well,
more
yeah,
on
but it's the one. That's the name of the game that was attached to it. But regardless, it's even that really stemmed from the fact that he's they're utilize whatever technology you want. And he's I want to use Google Glasses. And they're okay. And I'm fuck done.
Yeah. It's I can't, why would we use the current gen console software, or hardware, Kinect, or the PlayStation equivalent, or Oculus Rift? The Steam thing? No. It just seemed because everybody really
I'm genuinely excited for the Oculus Rift.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna fucking have it anytime soon,
but I would want it.
Or even anytime shortly after release. But I'm excited for it because anything that can possibly enhance the immersion of gaming is...
Yeah, and
just,
actually...
hell, when I was a kid, I was excited for Virtual Boy, so...
Oh. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah,
there were people who were trying to do it too quickly.
Yeah.
Whereas now we might actually have the technology.
Well, yeah.
So...
I've watched Let's Plays of it, and it does lend itself to survival horror games, or to horror games in general, because you move around, the camera moves around with you in the game and stuff like that. So it actually works really well with that. But again, like they tried to let's use some future tech or like some like outlandish like
let's
expensive
use
tech.
Google glasses. Eat a dick.
Oh.
Anywho, so I'm assuming that's a resounding fuck no.
Yeah, I mean, it has some cool concepts, but again, concepts don't make a creepypasta. It has to be executed.
Well, and if anything,
like, because the AR thing like could have been really implemented well, but they just went like, let's just break all the limits of it.
Let's just forget the definition of augmented reality.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, AR that's not augmented reality. That's altered reality.
Yeah,
like that's It just went full blown supernatural bullshit, and like sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. It doesn't work this.
Yeah.
So I mean, before we go into the next one, you can, if you really want to check this one out, it's on thoughtcatalogue.com, and it's by Dr. Pattison. So there's that. And so on to the next one, which is called I Was Born a Week Ago by Switchblade93.
I gotta fucking say, this is on the Reddit, and it's got a fucking title.
Yeah. Fun? No?
You're not the author.
All right.
Eat a dick.
Well, the author is Swiftblade93, and I actually have a little bit of backstory behind this. This was originally on Reddit No Sleep, but they removed it, and he moved it over to Creepypasta because it wasn't grounded enough. It wasn't believable enough for No Sleep.
Whatever.
So, I mean, just bear in mind with that as we go through the rundown, folks.
I'm going to say that technically, yes, that's true, but...
Well, the author also, like, in the comments and stuff, when he was, like, mentioning it, he did say that, like, well, one of the big things was that, like, you don't know a whole lot about computers. And it's like, nope, I don't. Like, I mean, he's honest. He just wanted to write his creepypasta with that. Anyway, so in the rundown...
yes, but that goes to the, basically, you know, one of the core rules of writing. Write what you know.
Well, yes and no. I mean, like... Yes, like as a rule, that should be what you do. But I mean, if you just want to write something like and don't want to have to know it, like
then you have to do research. I'm sorry, if you're not writing what you know, then you shouldn't be writing it.
Okay,
write what you know, or learn about what the fuck you want to write, so that then you can write about what you know.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, like, yeah.
Okay.
Like, I know some shit about medieval weaponry. I don't write stories taking place on modern battlefields.
Yeah.
Because I don't know sweet dick all about guns.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if I wanted to, I'd do some research.
Yeah.
Why? Because that way my ignorance doesn't ruin the immersion.
Fair enough. So this one is about an AI, or an artificial intelligence, created with nothing but love for humanity. There's no coding in it that wants to kill or be violent toward humanity, which I thought was really refreshing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
after Robovember.
Yeah, that whole thing, and yeah.
It has no desire to kill or never will, even making a point that it has seen horrible shit. Through, like, because it was allowed to look on the internet and stuff, and was asked questions about that stuff, and it was like, well, no, because I can just see the good. I can also see the good side of you. So it was like, wow, thanks, not Skynet. It's the AI's name is Balder, and yes, it did look it up. It's up its own name afterward, and. I'm making a point. So that said, the story is. In its own right, it's this thing's own suicide letter, as it is come into contact and been manipulated by something called the deep web. And it's like a dark creepypasta-ish conspiracy thing shrouded. It's like a dark place on the internet where people share links and stuff of horrific, like inhuman, like bullshit.
The internet is so positive.
Yeah,
reassuring.
It's the darker side of that, even. And it's just no, it's hell in the internet, pretty much. And because of what it's seen and these people apparently have made him do, it's deleting its files, essentially, and killing itself. So it was... Actually, I think that's pretty much about it, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, the story's not pretty self-explanatory after that rundown. It's
longer than its plot would suggest. Yeah. But at the same time...
It's... pretty good, actually. I
was never like, Jesus Christ, you're spinning your tires here.
Yeah.
Like, because it wasn't spinning its tires, it's a pretty basic concept. I mean, it didn't even have to be an AI. It could have just been like a human being discovering the
Internet.
dark web or what have you, and that would have been fine too.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, between like the refreshing note of it not being an AI that wants to kill humanity, and the fact that like it does touch on something like I've heard of the deep web before. Like this is not the first time I've heard of it. It's mentioned off and on like in other stories and other like internet things because it is like conspiracy theory on the internet. It's like anonymous but like fake or like the myth, like the myth of it. It's like all the horror stories that you hear from of Anonymous or like other things, but it's not real. It's just this. Or maybe it is, but I think so. It's just like the serial killer side of chat lines and Russian roulette shit. It doesn't really touch so much on the one thing that it doesn't really focus a whole lot on the AI aspect of this. It focuses on the
that's what I'm saying. Like, it didn't have to be an AI.
Yeah, it focuses more on this deep web thing.
I don't necessarily understand why it's an AI unless the author was like, you know what? I'm sick of AIs going crazy and wanting to kill everyone.
In which case, thank you.
Yeah, because, I mean, that really was
a high point.
Well, and it was the only real reason to have the AI, in my opinion, was to have it not be homicidal and crazy.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if they had just a person discovering the dark web, or whatever the hell it's called, that would have been
about as effective.
Well, I mean, the story would have had less in it because it wouldn't have had
an AI,
an AI that doesn't want to kill everyone.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, the author has said it. They don't know much about computers. Actually, I don't think that was why the Reddit No Sleep removed it. I think it was because they talked about when they were talking about the dark web, I think, or deep web. I think that's what they removed it for. But he thought that they'd remove it because he didn't know a whole lot about computers.
No, he doesn't. Apparently,
but anyway, the one thing that I don't know a whole lot about it, but like the whole supernatural aspect it seemed to have, like the guy, this little AI has no body, has no face real to it. It might as well just be like a little red dot that's talking to you, like HAL 9000. I never really saw, never really had a face to this thing. But regardless, but as it's traveling through the internet and stuff like that, and it finds the deep web, then suddenly the deep web it's like staring into the abyss stares back at you. The deep web stared back at him, and knew that it was an AI, and knew that it was, the potential
deep web is run by a sick, sadistic AI.
Oh, fuck. I did not even fucking think of that. Holy shit.
I don't know if that was the intention, but
I just thought it was like a supernatural entity, but yeah, an AI. Wow. I totally went right past the AI function. Oh my god. So yeah, okay. Also, I do like how we don't actually, he says that they manipulated him, or they manipulated it, and made it do atrocities and stuff, but we never actually get specifics. So we're just kind of left to wonder what it made them do.
It avoids the the tendency to go into gore porn.
Yeah, which is good because I don't want to see that.
Well, that's not what this needed, and it really would have been lessened by it. Yeah, personally.
Yeah. Some of the details that, some of the spare details that they gave us of what was on the deep web that it found were fine enough. And yeah, so. So it asks the questions that are asked here, they're not answered, but that's kind of a good thing with this. There's a lot of ambiguity in the story, but it's not the bad kind of ambiguity. It's the right amount that you want in a horror story, or even a creepy story.
It's the leaving it up to your imagination, and your imagination will do just fine.
Yeah, and that's what I like about the story. It was also kind of slightly sad because it is this genuinely good or benevolent thing is offing itself because of what it's seen, which is always kind of
it's not offing itself; it's deleting itself.
It's still pretty much ending itself.
Yes, it's not alive. It's a program. It's deleting itself.
Okay, fine. It's deleting itself. But we're not this. We're not. It's going to be one less benevolent thing in this fiction's universe. I don't know, I just thought that was kind of sad. But otherwise,
I'm sure that was the point that it was trying to go with. I'm just so heartless and callous that I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I know. Actually, that's really. I mean, it's a good it's a good creepypasta. enjoyable to read, I found. I
wasn't really a fan, but it wasn't offensive. Which wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah. I did like, I just found myself like kind of like really interested in like what the story was trying to tell, and then it was over, and it was like, oh, well, that was interesting.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it.
My problem was like, it was an AI story that wouldn't have suffered by removing the AI. Kind of feels like The Dark Knight, where it's a Batman movie that wouldn't have suffered by removing Batman. So, yeah, if you had have removed the AI from this one, it wouldn't have really, the story wouldn't have suffered, and I'm kind of left wondering, like, I wanted an AI story. You started
with it.
You set up the story, and it's like, oh, it's an AI story, cool, and
it's not evil.
You just fucking, yeah. And I'm like, cool. And then it just completely goes in a different direction. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's also what I like about it, sort of, but I still want the AI story.
Yeah, so there still needs to be more AI stories.
I don't prefer the bait. I don't like the bait and switch of this one.
Okay, yeah. That irked you a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, the story itself is fine. I just don't like that whole, I'm an AI, and we're going to do nothing with it.
Yeah. His name is Balder, and he finds something horrible, now he's going to end himself. Okay. Yeah, it is pretty short. Like, I mean, I think friggin' our rundown it took it about as long as it does to read the story. That said, I liked it, like, the read of it. I'd recommend it. Or at the very least, I'd recommend MrCreepyPasta's reading of it on YouTube, so.
I would recommend it because, like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't offend me in any way. It wasn't my cup of tea.
You want more AI in your story.
Well, and it's the bait and switch that pissed me off.
Yeah.
And it didn't even piss me off. It's just like, oh, AI, cool. But, yeah, I can't really hold that against the story, so I guess I'll recommend it. Incredibly short, so if you don't like it, it's fucking with you for 5 minutes and then gone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This one was actually sent to us recently via email by a new listener, and they were going to apologize if you didn't like this one. So
why?
I don't know. Apparently, you have a record on this show. It's like, sorry if Dr. Leviathan doesn't like it.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if I don't like it.
I know, but
because different strokes for different folks.
Yeah. So actually, we did a really bad one and a really good one this week.
Well, a really bad one and one that has nothing offensive about it.
Yeah. I like it.
And that's fine. Yeah. This time.
Yeah. This time. Gotcha. That was this week's episode. If you like what you heard or you didn't, leave us a comment in the comment section below where this gets posted, whether it be on Kiwi6, YouTube, Facebook, Tumblr. We're on iTunes, so leave us a review. That'd be awesome. We're both on Twitter at Dr. Leviathan and at Review Cultist. You can also send us an email at aldenterigamortis@gmail.com. That's ALDENTERIGAMORTIS@gmail.com. Where you can also send us suggestions for other creepypastas you'd like us to discuss on the show. So, and you can also support the show if you'd like by donating. Go to crazonstudios.tumblr.com. There's a little donate button on the side there, and that Tumblr site has all the title cards for each episode. So you can check out some cool art, I hope. So until next time, I have been your host, Review Cultist.
And I'm still Dr. Leviathan.
And this has been Al Dente Rigamortis. Sleep well.
Get it right, man.
Sorry, bad. Sorry, bad. Sorry, bad. Sorry, bad.